if we run the replication for one employee, and if the employee having an employment status as a percentage like 23 percentage or 30 percentage, so it will verify the template, and under the template, oh, this is the employment status that is coming from EC. We should convert to a constant, and it will update to info type 7.
Yes,
So
I
basically,
see.
this is
I see.
there's a connection with the template, so that identify, and this is also define exceptions compound employee API query. So here we have exemptions. This is a kind of we can give exemptions to particular info types. I don't want to replicate info type 7. We can maintain here. We can maintain the info type, and it will not replicate. It will not consider the info type 7, and it will update other rest of the info types. This is kind of exemption. And this step define filtering of info type and subtypes for employees. This is where all the uh, info type 14 additional payments, and they have so many subtypes like variable bonus 0001, 0002. There are so many subtypes. For example, 34 is a contractual info type, and under the contract, we have a regular contract, and the 6 months contract. There are so many subtypes. We can filtering out by choosing info type, and subtypes, so that, for example, in the success factors, we have a drop down that is called a pick list. Pick list have so many drop downs, and a client is don't want to replicate all the pick list. There are 10 pick lists for additional payments. Let us say they have a variable bonus and year-end bonus and personal allowance. There are so many subtypes, and we can filtering out only replicate the variable pay and personal allowance. And they have in the EC side, they have claims for mobile allowance. So they don't want to replicate those mobile allowance. Only specific to a few subtypes that they want to update in the info types. So we can filtering out here with the info types and subtypes. I hope
Okay,
you understand.
I got, yeah, I understand, but I'm really hard to see. Let me share in the WhatsApp. I'm just
Uh-huh.
keep on track, but I
Okay,
think
okay.
this is, yeah, regarding with the,
We covered the defined filters for info types and subtypes. I hope you understand this last step. And this one define decision tree for organization structure entry. I'm still I'm not sure. I never used this node. And I can explore and give it to the information. Last but one, define decision tree for organizational structure entry.
also I didn't actually use before, as far as I remember. Might be
Yeah,
it
yeah.
can be related with the custom objects or not, like the division business unit departments without of this tree. If we use the any other custom objects, might be, I'm not
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, you know
yeah,
it.
yeah. You were able to see my screen, no, with the mouse cursor.
You can just
Okay.
say the name, and I can after actually recording, I can keep the with name. This is okay.
Okay. And this the last step, restrict employee master data to certain countries. That is already covered in the previous node. We can restrict this particular countries. For example, US, UK. You can have the Molga country coding, and if you select this country, and it will not replicate those particular employees. It will not consider. It
Mhm.
will ignore. And move on to next slide. This is the sample template that I captured in the screenshot. This is, let me know once you were able to see the clear picture.
Yes, I got the screenshot right now.
So this is the sample template, ws underscore om underscore dep. This is the standard EC entity given by SAP. Under this, they also given us some standard mappings. We need to cross verify. Okay, this is required. This suffice for our configuration or not. We can cross verify, and we can save the configuration, or we can modify the standard configuration. Example here, for the department, they have mapped the parent department with the relationships A002 with the SOB ID, and the cost center code is also mapped.
Murali, so sorry for interrupted you, but how can we reach this actually mapping table?
This table that in the previous screen, in the organizational data integration, we have a defined field mapping for organizational data. So here, how we are defining the employee master data. Here also you can see defined field mapping for employee data. Similarly, we have a defined field mapping for organizational data. If you
Mhm,
click on that, you will reach to this node. So here, based on the mapping, based on the employee metadata, we can able to select the EC field, and the field description is already there in the tag to that particular EC field, and we need to select the info type mapping. We have a
mhm,
baddie mapping, we have an options, info type
mhm,
mapping, baddie mapping. We always select the info type, and we will enter the relevant info type. And if it is a kind of subtype, we want to replicate it to subtype, we will select the
mhm,
subtype, and
mhm,
whatever the relevant is info type field, we will select it. So here, in the organizational, subtype is nothing but relationship. That's why we will maintain the relationship. If we see in employee replication, we will select the, for example, if you want to replicate to info type 14 payments information or additional payments, we will select the subtype of the additional payments, and we'll select the info type waste type, let us say
mhm,
waste type. And
mhm,
even in the, for example, communication info type,
mhm,
we will select the employee user id as a EC field,
mhm,
and it will give the description. And in the mapping mode, we will select the info type mapping, and we'll select the info type as a 105 0105. And in the
mhm,
subtype, we will select a 0001 for a user id as a info type field. And similarly, if you want to replicate a email id, we'll select the email id as a EC field, and the same info type mapping, and info type 0105, and subtype as a 0010 as a
mhm.
email id. Email id is a subtype for info type 105, and we'll select the email id. So automatically, the relevant EC field will verify, will pick the value, and it will push to relevant info type and subtype. That is employee replication, employee the PA replication mapping, and this is the OM replication mapping. Here I have captured a department and position, and here position template is already captured with the corporate title, position title. Position
Mhm,
title is a S text. We need to maintain S text so that
mhm.
the text value LP will consider, and it will update to info type
Mhm.
1000 for the info type, for the
Okay.
position.
And also, Murali, is this actually possible for you to just summarize the relations like A002 is showing us between department and position, something like that. Is that possible to actually? I need to remember that these
Yeah.
relationships. What is the
Okay.
A002? Yeah, what was the
Sure.
B class like?
Sure, sure. I will not till now I didn't paint it, but I will prepare an Excel sheet. I will give it to you so that it will
Okay.
easy for you to. Oh, this
Yeah.
is relationship for the department to parent department, and cost center is A011. So
Mhm.
always this relationship is a standard. It will not vary. It will not change. Correct.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you have
Exactly.
a kind of Excel sheet, that will easy for you and understand. I will share it with you. So this is the standard, the OM template. And if you see transformation template group, so this is the naming that we need to maintain migration EC to SAP. Based on our convenience, we will name it. Under
Mhm.
this template group, we have a many templates. If you see, template group is similar, migration EC to SAP, and here also template group is same. Whereas there is a, under this template group, we have different templates for department, and this is for position. We will maintain different templates under the template group. So similarly, for PA, we will create one template group. Under the template group, we have a template for info type 0 and info type 105, info type compensation related. Will based on our convenience, we will change the name, info type, dependent info types, or a national ID, personal IDs info type. We can name it based on our convenience with
Mhm.
the different templates under template group. So move on to next slide. So I told you this is the transformation template group. If you see address is an easy entity which is given by SAP as a WS underscore 10, and the annual salary. This is also a pay component annual salary that is tagged to WS underscore 12. So we will select the EC entity, and under the EC entity, we will able to see whatever the portlets that are there in the EC side. We will see all the relevant EC fields, and if you go to the templates, we can have an option like, oh, this EC field should map to this particular info type, and this particular EC field we will maintain there. It will enable to proceed further with the configuration in the templates, in the transformation templates. And here also we have an option to ease active. For example, before going to go live, I don't want to replicate the, for example, bank information is already there, but I don't want to replicate it. We can
Mhm.
unselect it. Based on the selection, we can transfer the data from EC2. Here country specific biographical information is there. Here is a China, France, Germany. There are country specific fields. For example,
Yes.
for US, there is a veterinar, a nature of the business. There are so many fields based on the country wise. We can map it in the custom. So this is the overview of the templates, the template group,
Mhm.
and we have an option to active. Is it active or not? Based on the selection, it will consider the mappings and it will push the data. If you
Mhm.
unselect it, it will not touch. It will not touch the
Mhm.
mapping under the template.
This is okay. And also we will go over the standard mapping list. I think it will be better, clear. And
Okay.
also this table morally, and we are able to reach with the,
This
let me see the,
define field mapping for employee data.
yes, exactly.
We select it, we will see, we will come to this stage. Under, if you select any of the, for example, address ws underscore ECSAP, if you select it, you will see, for example, here there is a ws underscore 4 job information template. Under that, we have so many, that is a big portlet. You will see major EC fields, and you can map it to relevant info types.
Mhm.
WS underscore 4 is the EC entity, and this is a job information template. It is nothing but job info portlet in EC. So under this, so many company, contract end date, cost center, IT user. There are, these are all the EC fields you can see in the EC side, and you will
Mhm.
get using a metadata, and it is provisioned. It is give a provision to map to the relevant info type. You can select the mapping mode as an info type, and select the info type, and it will go to works as an info type or info type field. For info type 1, go to info type 1 with the works field.
And so if we go into the VS4, we will see this actually field, right?
Exactly.
Ask about the organizational, actually web service one. And in Employee Central, you know that actually my exact question that how can we map the manager data? It can be the position manager or department manager, and how can we actually configure this in HR sites? And also I have the question regarding with the Employee Central site, but I can discuss with the other trainer. But for the HR sites, and let's say we would like to replicate both the department manager and the position manager in our organizational schema.
Because one point is clear that we don't have a position manager. Only department head is there. Every department has a head. Head of the
Hmm.
department called it.